Let's play two. Looks like we're going to be fashionably early here from the class of 1923 arena on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania, where the Drexel Dragons men's ACHA Division II squad will try to make it a clean sweep after the D1 team took care of Farmingdale State 3-2. In skate the George Mason Patriots for this evening's contest. Jake Levin with you on the call here on the Sports Fan Base Network. John Galonis is our on-site producer for this one as well. Ari Bluestein, off-site executive producer on the cameras tonight. Cormac Keach and Daniela Schneider. Well, Drexel coming out in their home white uniforms, some gold and navy trim, a little different than what we saw from the D1 team out in their October specials, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Pink uniforms worked for them. George Mason out in their blacks, a little gold piping and some green helmets. Drexel going to be defending the goal to the right of your screen as we're underway. George Mason controls the draw. Braden Schaefer, the defenseman, plays it now, coming right onside for the Dragons, Aiden Barrett. Barrett skates off to the left, now goes top the zone. Owen met him, I should say. Kept near side, Jack Lemire. That's gloved down by Tae Yang Lim, starting goaltender for the Patriots this evening. Shot scored. That didn't take long at all. Steve Bason's shot initially denied by Yang Lim. Put home by Dylan Fletcher. It's 1-0 Dragons, just 27 seconds in. Drexel controls the ensuing face-off as well. Lemire from his own end, try to bank one up ice, no connection. Playable for Braden Schaefer. Schaefer, this one's onside for Andrew Farley. Starting in goal for Drexel tonight, Brian Worthington wears number 30 as the Dragons out onside. The far side right, Yang Lim makes the save. A wrister from Owen Mendham. Right back up ice come the Patriots. Comes onside for Ransom. Thrust into neutral ice. Bisects the point men. Schaefer backtracking with Daniel Tom. Schaefer curves past Pierce McGinley. Fires one. Glove stop Worthington. Dragons win the D-zone draw, kicked aside by Josh Search. Just looking for Brian O'Reilly up ice, and a hand pass, I think, is going to be the call. They've gone off a glove on the Drexel bench. I think that makes a little more sense. It's a neutral zone draw, controlled by the Dragons. It was Evan Eisler. Josh Search stretches for Fletcher. Fletcher onside, outskirts of the circle. Harmlessly through the crease. Shoveled by Eisler. Has Fletcher. Eisler maneuvers to the puck. Or for Pierce McGinley. This is onside for the Dragons. Now going to have to tag back up. Owen Mendham sends one in on Tae Yang Lim. He'll drop it and leave it for Braden Schaefer. And back for the puck, Joe Petty. Andrew Walsh causes the turnover to the slot. Barrett fires, and that's going to escape off to the glass. Pinching in Lemire. Lemire for Basin. Walsh high on the half wall. Drexel out shooting George Mason in the very early going, 4-2. All sorts of zone time. That one lobbed through by Lemire to the end boards. Lemire playing the left point. Fires off the stick of Pettit. Kept onside by Owen Mendham. Here comes Schaefer. Schaefer from the left. Gains the line. He's 1-on-3. Gonna hang on to the puck. Has it batted loose by Lemire. Essentially a punt from Schaefer. Now here come the Dragons. Basin onside. Basin circle. Fires. Yang Lim made the stop. I think Basin may have hung on to that puck a little longer than initially thought. Barrett. And to bounce it to himself. Fletcher from the near circle. Dragons change on the fly. Lemire. The corner wall. Playable for Tom. Come the Patriots. Dylan Thorne skates after it. With progress halted. Fletcher entangled. Far side Alexei Karpov. Meets Silberman. Up the middle for Drexel. Shoots. Pad save made by Lim. Fletcher back for Corey Held. Intercepted by Goodwin. Fletcher back at Held. Bank pass for Zach Jones. Was onside. Karpov sent it back from where it came. Jones persists, clings a little iron, and that's up into the netting. 15-13 to play in the first. Ozone draw for the Dragons, who scored just 27 seconds into this game. Was originally scheduled for a 10:40 puck drop, so we started about 25 minutes early. Pretty good pace of play to the D1 game. That was a win for the Drexel D1 side. 3-2 came from behind in the third period. Power play goal and a 5-on-3 goal. Lemire, an aerial, able to land with Mendham. Had to drop one back for Jordan Haidt. Schaefer carves up the neutral zone. Tried to leave one for Farley. Goodwin, Karpov rather, being harassed by David Wagstaff. Dylan Fletcher fetches the puck deep in his own end. Snakes his way through center ice, now into the attacking zone. Fletcher from the dot, centers one. Unable to connect, and the net ever so slightly loose. Leads to that stoppage. Even 6 minutes gone by here at the class of 1923 arena. Face off clean as ever for Steve Basin. Shot from Josh Search. Able to find it, Yang Lim. George Mason and Drexel many years ago competed in the CAA together. George Mason now in the Atlantic 10, as there's a shot atop the slot from Basin. Pad save by Yang Lim, and that's for the majority of sports. Obviously hockey, or varsity sport at either school, but the club programs still compete against one another. There's an offering from Basin, blocked, high in the slot. Nick Ransom. Basin with some help from Worthington. Fades the forecheck. Basin able to get the icing waved off. Centers one. Corner wall, Barrett. Cycles out of the corner. From the dot, he shoots, and it takes off high to the netting with 12:59 to play in the first. Shots on goal now 11-2, favoring Drexel. Onside, Michael Egan from the right wing corner. Banks one up top. Mendham the shot. Pat save Yang Lim. Rebound out to the near side. Silberman won't go. Lemire. That one will jettison off to the netting. And another O-zone draw should be awarded to the Dragons. Lemire. Corner wall. Jones gets his stick in the way. Now possesses the puck over to the far side right. Siphons it back for Silberman. Jones this way and that. Kicks one out towards the half wall. Follows up for Lemire. Leaping and gloving it down Karpov, I beg your pardon. Jones is onside. He's 1-on-5. Carries it wide, waiting for the Cavalry to catch up. This left point is vacant. Possessed by Fletcher, so Drexel just has to get back onside. Now the Dragons mixing up their personnel. Brian O'Reilly, left to right, headed east-west. Unable to get north. Karpov, onside. No connection with Jasinis. We'll get a whistle. I believe we're going to get our first penalty of the game. It's going to be on Drexel. Guilty party for the hook. Brian O'Reilly. He's gone at 8:50 of the first period, so George Mason to the power play. Schaefer. Up top, Goodwin's shot is going to take off to the end glass. Clears out space for himself. Swipe by Fletcher. Clears the zone. Now 30 seconds gone by on the power play for the Patriots. No shots on goal yet. And still none, as now Drexel trying to get comfortable in its attacking end. Onside comes Farley. Far side, mistiming the shot. Thorne got it going the right direction, but still offline. And halfway is gone on the man advantage. Lim leaves it for Schaefer. Started right, shakes left. Dragons assume control through the neutral zone. Andrew Walsh through the slot. No connection to Barrett. All it takes is one shot on the power play to make it a good one. But right now, it's been easier said than done for the Patriots. That's off into the stands. That's touched by Karpov, but it was a Drexel player who sent it off of him. So I think this will be an ozone draw for the Patriots. Loose puck. Cleared out by Drexel once again. Time to reload one more time if you're George Mason on this power play. Schaefer, outlet to the flats for Goodwin. Came right back at Schaefer. Trying to stretch the ice for Pettit. Pettit runs it down on the right wing corner. Back at 5-on-5. George Mason with control of the zone, and Drexel moves right back up ice with the puck. This is Eisler. Eisler tried to shoot. Puck didn't follow. That's a blast off the glass from Mendham. Lemire follows, saves Lim. Drexel changing personnel, almost too many men. Corey held. Tape to tape for Hade. Has his pocket picked by Schaefer. Trying to lose Jones. He'll get it deep. About 8.5 to play in the first period. 1-0 Drexel. Just 27 seconds in as we approach what was supposed to be the start time for this game. 10:40. First period will still be going at that point, but more than halfway gone. Clean win for Evan Eisler. Wagstaff is in the flats. Now he'll follow it himself to the end wall. From the corner, Haight, near point, Lemire, shot, save Lim. Puck still loose, and he'll fall the top with 7:56 to go in the first. Eisler on the draw, picked off by Farley. Farley up on his lonesome. He gets checked into the boards by Eisler. Arm is up. It's a delayed call on Drexel. They're going to get Eisler here. I guess an elbow? Letter of the law, penalty. Certainly nothing too egregious, but Drexel's going to be shorthanded again. 1-for-1 on the PK. It was right along the boards. Patriot power play. Karpov up top. Point to point for Goodwin. Loses the puck. Bouncing around neutral ice. Karpov. Diagonal onside for Ransom. Intercepted. This is Basin. Basin tried to shoot the moon for Walsh. Here's Karpov. Karpov jams in front, save. Worthington rebound. Another stop, Worthington, and a premature whistle. Bring an ozone draw for George Mason. 2 saves there for Worthington as George Mason doubles its shots on goal total. Had only 2. Now up to a 14-4 deficit. Karpov, shot blocked, trying to find it, Walsh. Still onside, Farley, seam pass. Looking for Goodwin and cleared out. All the way is Zach Jones, trying to take the top off the defense, shot to save Lim. Great job standing in the cage there. Re-equips with a stick. Dylan Thorne. He's onside, but no possession for the Patriots. And Jones going to try again, a little bit behind him. Ransom. Stretch for Thorne. Right back for Fletcher. Mendham. His outlet exploded off the handles of Basin, but no Patriots able to play the puck. He's in a danger area. This is still onside. Farley. No connection in the slot. 25 seconds left on the power play. Been a little disjointed for George Mason. Couple of shots back to back. There's a third shot. Worthington will have to stick the puck back to himself. 5:54 to play in the first. 14 seconds on the penalty. And Evan Eisler. More clear should do it for George Mason. And offside just as the penalty expired. So Drexel 2 for 2 on the PK. Out shooting the Patriots 14-4, leading 1-0. Eisler matched up with Pettit for the draw. Vantage Dragons been very good at the dot as well. Karpov with a false start on the breakout. Schaefer back to retrieve. Karpov tried to use the glass to clear. Lemire with the takeaway. Lemire self-pass. He'll shoot in himself from the left. Lemire centers one. That net's loose. The accord of the goaltender, Tae-Yang Lim. Stalemate in the corner. Patriots possessed it for a moment. Racing over, Michael Egan. Right side, Egan. Now Jones. Jones for Lemire. Cross point, has Barrett. Save Lim, rebound, Jones. Missed the mark. Mac Jones had a very strong first period. He's been all over the ice. Nothing to show for it on the score sheet yet. Icing was waved off. Owen Mendham on the near side. Enters unencumbered from the half wall. Centers one. Fletcher playing free safety. Toggles with Silberman. Egan onside, collected with his skates, handles to the slot. Jones couldn't get a shot. Played with a high stick by Mason, and so an O-zone draw. They awarded the Drexel. 3:44 to play in the first. Shots on goal 15-4 favoring Drexel. Fletcher, one-time bid for Held, is offline. Barrett Move to the slot. Backhand bid won't go. Great look for Basin. Lim with maybe his best save of the period. Barrett, high on the slot for Walsh. Can't get the backhand to fall. Lim playing without a stick. Across the zone, it's held. He'll fire offline. Hammered the other way by Thorne, but that's going to be an easy takeaway for Barrett. Couple options. Flexure. Back for Barrett off the half wall. Maneuvers to the slot. Shoots, and it's blocked. Worn by Ransom. Great zone time for Drexel. Nothing too fancy with a forecheck. Forwards are just going after the puck. Very little resistance. This is high in the slot. Playable for Walsh. Flexure with 2.5 to play in the first. Tried to go cross point. No icing. Flexure. 1-on-2 behind the net, waiting for the Cavalry to catch up. And a bank one for Evan Eisler. Shoots! Change directions. Believe Lim got a piece of it. Here's Thorne. Ransom glides in. All this possession for Drexel, it's still just 1-0. 2 penalty kills, I guess, haven't helped, but they've had quite a few shorthanded chances to boot. This is Wagstaff. Carries it wide. Had to jam one for Hayde. Flexure. This is onside. He'll wind up with the puck himself. 90 seconds to go in the first. Wagstaff, fadeaway. Chance for a 2-on-1 for George Mason all of a sudden. It's Farley and Thorne. Farley couldn't pull the trigger clean from Thorne. And this has the makings of an icing on Drexel. No, it's waved off. Linesmen have been liberal with their interpretation of icing. Might let this pace pick up. No complaints. As right back onside comes Thorne into the final minute. Puck stays high. Here come the Dragons. This is Lemire. Jack Lemire. To his left, Lemire shoots. He clunks some iron. Lemire going to get another whack at it. Egan spins it down low. Silberman awaits the puck. Jones flings it. Pad save made by Lim, and another stop. And that one up into the stands. Lim has been the best player on the ice for George Mason, bar none. 16 saves already. On pace for almost 50. 23 seconds left in the first period. Yet another ozone draw win by Silberman. Jones on a tour of the attacking zone. He fires. The corner wall, Lemire pinches in. Tied up at the half boards into the final 10 seconds. Jones. So many chances this period. Does he have one more? Fade away from Mendham. That won't go. 2 seconds left. Patriots will wisely staple it to the glass. That's how the first period will come to a close from the class of 1923 arena. Shots on goal for the first period, 23-5. Favoring Drexel, but it's only 1-0 on the scoreboard. A lot of hockey left. We'll take a break and be back for the second period after about 10 more minutes on the Sports Fanbase Network. Welcome back to the start of the second period from the class of 1923 arena on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. Drexel holds a 1-0 lead over George Mason, ACHA Division II action. On the Sports Fan Base Network, Jake Levin back with you on the call. Drexel outshot the Patriots 23-5 in the opening 20. Scored only once. It was 27 seconds in. Looked like it might pile on early. But Taeyang Lim was dynamite for the Patriots, and he's going to have to continue to be. That first period was any indication. Teams have switched sides. Drexel now attacking the goal to the right of your screen. There's Jack Lemire back in his own end on your left. Came across for Mendham. Several of those shots for George Mason were on the power play in the first period, so even strength shots. Only 2 or 3. There's a clean pick into the pocket from Aiden Barrett. He's going to drop one back for Basin. And Lim gets a piece of it again up into the netting. About a minute gone by here in the second. The Drexel Division I ACHA team with a win tonight. Come from behind fashion against Farmingdale State. Led 1-0, trailed 2-1. 2 goals in the third period, make it 3-2. Silverman, backhander won't go. Trying to bulldoze his way to the puck in the corner. Karpov on the scene. Getting up the wall for Rothermond. Silverman. Free it for Egan. Jones. Egan. Took a bat at it. Loose in the slot. Silverman swing and a miss. Here comes Pettit. Pettit carries it wide. He'll chip and chase. Skated in Rothermond. Nobody home at the point. So Karpov going to have to go fetch back in his own end. For Daniel Tong. Pettit. Puck gummed up in neutral ice as Steve Basin moves in from the far side left. Drops for Barrett. Shot, and it's high over the crossbar. 2 minutes into this second period, looking a lot like the first for Drexel. All sorts of scoring chances. Can't finish that one through the glove of Lim. He still kept it wide and a good pad save there. Boy, has he been busy. 22 saves in the first period. You do the math. Full game pace of 66. Whether he gets there, we'll see. That's a game's worth sometimes. North of 20 saves in a period, and he's already there. Steve Basin on for the ozone draw. Gives it back, Lemire. Gonna step into one, glove stop Lim, and he will put the clamp down, make it official. Same personnel for Drexel, same result. Basin wins the draw. Barrett. Cross ice has Mendham. In the right point, flicks one. Kick stop Lim. Lim another stop on a puck that was coming through from Walsh. Lemire in the corner for Barrett. Barrett in the circle, back up top. Lemire has it, fires, and it's blocked. Basin collects, banks it off the end wall for Barrett. Back up top. Plenty of perimeter play here for Drexel. Stepping out, that clangs some iron and a loose net. Will bring us to a halt. 16:40 to go in the second. Drexel doing everything but finish. Full change now for the Dragons. Clean win at the dot for the Patriots. Ransom. Schaefer looking up ice. There's Corey Held. The left side wing. Wagstaff enters the offensive end. Eisler shot. Coming back to the near end. Schaefer has some numbers. 2-on-2 in particular. Shot out of a cannon was Farley. A little weave. Save Worthington. Shot won't fall. Great chance for Farley. Farley and Schaefer. Good looking combination. No icing. It was touched by a Patriot. Schaefer really gave it away. Ultimately, jockeyed loose by height. Now the Patriots right back up ice. This is onside. Farley again. Stepping in was Held. Hyde. Karpov gets it deep. Held tried to clear Pettit. Other ideas. Shoved by Fletcher over to the near side. Karpov jumps the route. Through the left circle. Couldn't make himself square. Fluttering puck racing back. This won't be icing. Patriots got to win this foot race. It's Goodwin. Puck playable for Egan. Egan with Silberman. Off the half wall. Stepping back behind the cage, Wagstaff. Banks one. Lemire, left point. He'll shoot. Gets a carom over towards the corner. Playable for Egan. Trying to utilize Mendham. They'll leave a dent in the end boards. Lemire pinches in. Sent one towards the crease. No connection. Lemire. Bypass Silberman. Shots on goal up to a 27-6 advantage for the Dragons. Lemire patrolling the middle. Try to angle one for Jones. Drexel yet to have a power play in this game and shorthanded twice. Lim makes a stop from 100 feet. Silberman. Lost his stick. If that's not a hook in, I don't know what is. Just going to let it go. Lemire. Into one. Lim extends his leg and somehow keeps it a 1-0 game. There's a hit along the corner wall, and this is going to send Mason to the penalty box. Should say Drexel to the power play. It looks like Ransom. Could call this a number of things. It was right along the boards, which is the first issue. I believe I see a 5. And Ransom's going to be gone. It's a misconduct. Perfect storm there for Mason, or imperfect. You get the hit up along the head, along the boards. So Drexel is going to have a 5-minute major at 6:17. The Dragons can't break this game open here. It'll be Andrew Walsh centering this power play unit. Zach Jones to his left. Steve Payson to his right. Point men going to be Jack Lemire. He's over on the near side right. Aiden Barrett in the middle. And serving this minor will be Wyatt Hinkson. George Mason. Well, that's the end of the night for Ransom. 5 minutes and a game misconduct. Lemire. The half boards. It's Basin. Skates in, shoots, and a save Lim. Rebound right to Basin. Cycles up top for Lemire. Maneuvers to the middle. Back from Basin from the left dot. He'll shoot, and that's high. Lemire. Lane catch far side with Barrett. Has to send one. Barrett curls in the left side circle. Top the slot. Toggles with Lemire. Back for Barrett. Man in the near point now. In the slot, Basin. All sorts of possession. No real urgency for Drexel. And going bar down is Barrett. He scores. There's one. And with 4:21 still to go on the man advantage, who's to say how many more? Get a look at this one on our replay. Say no sense of urgency for Drexel. But right place, right time, shoot it. Score as many goals as you want. 5-on-4 right now, barring a penalty of your own. Mendham. Fletcher. It's already a pretty thin George Mason bench. Now only 4 skaters with the removal of Ransom. I should say 5. You have Hinkson serving the minor, or the major. Drexel's got to get tagged back up. The puck came over. Fletcher for Mendham. Fletcher goes vertical, missed the mark, wanted Eisler. Coming back in on Worthington. Easy to fall asleep if you're a goalie whose team is out shooting the other by about 20 shots. Worthington has not. Still more than 3 minutes to go in this 5-minute major. 1 thus far for Drexel, 2 for the game. Here's Barrett. He has the goal in a carbon copy. He scores. Bar down. He's feeling it, and it's 3-0 Dragons. Take a look at this one. A little more of a fast break opportunity here for Barrett. More in motion rather than a set play. So the result is the same. His second of the game. Second in the last minute and a half, essentially. So the Dragons, you figured you really wanted to get 1 on the 5-minute major. Now you have 2, and it's still not quite halfway through. You wonder how many more. Great save by Lim, but can't clean up after the fact. Andrew Walsh tacks on another. There's 3. Not much a goaltender can do there. Take a look at this one as well. An initial stop by Lim, but Walsh crashes. 3 goals in about a minute and a half. And still 2:16 shorthanded for George Mason. We're about halfway home in the second period. Is Mendham. Goes and collects. Fletcher. Back from Mendham. He'll handle the breakout. Second thought. Back pass at Fletcher. Onside. It's Mendham. He'll shoot. Whizzes wide on the velocity. Fletcher pinches. Good layering from Mendham. The final 100 seconds of the 5-on-4. Fletcher onside, shimmies his way through the near circle. Moves out far side, still possesses the puck. Now Mendham returns to sender. Tried to come back across for Silberman. Got stuck on Joe Pettit. Right back on side come the Dragons. This is Eisler. Towards the middle, swept away by Pettit. Kept in by Silberman. Moving left to right along the blue line. Save Lim, rebound, unable to fall. Josh Search down low. That's Egan for Mendham. He's been out there for a while. He'll shoot. It's blocked. Fletcher, Silberman. And around the world right now. Egan emerges out of the near corner. Mendham back up top. He'll shoot. Rebound, thinking wraparound Search. Egan. Right back. Up top, Mendham. That's a great looking bid, and Lim makes the save. With 23 seconds left, shorthanded. 9:05 to go in the second period. Held will send one. Pad save Lim. Down the river, no icing. Still 12 seconds left on this major. Dragons led 1-0 at the outset. They now lead 4-0. Can they grab one more in the closing seconds? Perhaps not. Shots on goal for this game are now 38-6. Dragons were looking for a way to bust it open, and it was the 5-minute major that did it. 3 goals, including 2 from Aiden Barry. Another one from Andrew Walsh. That's where we stand. Here comes Steve Basin. Losing an edge was Jasinis. Little high from Basin. Lim read it pretty well. Be an ozone draw for Drexel. Jones with a check to free the puck. Here's Hyde. Hyde whips one off the wall for Search. He'll sling it. Karams to Jones. Missed the mark on the near side. Numbers for the Patriots, 3-on-2 as Jones races back. And he does it for the numerical advantage. Shot wide of the cage. We're going to get a penalty. This one's going to be on Drexel, I believe. Call confirmed. Now just a matter of what and how long. No possession. Well, there's your whistle anyways. All right, we're going to have a rough, it looks like. That sends David Wagstaff off at 12:38. No indication this is anything more than a minor. 2 minutes already up on the scoreboard. George Mason 0 for 2 on the power play. Had a pair in the first period. Couple of shots. Lemire clears the zone. There's 10 seconds in. If you're George Mason right now, 4-0, teams have come back for more. Really got to cash in on the power plays, and not give up shorthanded chances like that to Steve Basin. He scores 5-0 Drexel. Rains, it pours right now if you're the Patriots. Take a look at this one. Steve Basin makes it 5-0. 4 special teams goals here in the second period so far for Drexel. Score 27 seconds into regulation. Don't score again until you're awarded a 5-minute major. Boy, did that get the offense back in sync. Ozone draw for George Mason. Advantage Drexel. Fletcher looking for a way out. Lost possession. This is Thorne. Across the way for Schaefer. Goodwin. Back at Schaefer. For Goodwin. Up top, Worthington watches it past the far post. Hammered from in close, Thorne. Worthington, the stop, loose puck, Patriots score. That's Andrew Farley. Taps it home at the far post. And a much-needed reprieve for George Mason. That's a 5-1 game at 13:49, the second period. Schaefer with an assist. One of the more active skaters on this Patriots roster tonight. Usually is. Brian O'Reilly fades left. Shouldn't be icing. Going after Pierce McGinley. We're back at even strength. George Mason now 1 for 3 on the power play. Great to get the goal if you're the Patriots, but you surrendered a shorty in the interim. Icing waved off. Lemire from Mendham. Stretch up the far side and a carom into the George Mason bench. Glove down by Karpov. Mendham possesses for Drexel. From the right, trying to go vertical. A no icing, because Wagstaff hustled his way to the puck. Lemire for Mendham. Lemire tasked with the breakout. Trying to find Hade. Basin, the most recent scorer for Drexel. Cross ice Wagstaff finishes off a check. Pettit. Picked off clean by Lemire. Lemire, left shot. Keeps it onside. Lemire shoots atop the slot, and a blocker save made by Lim. Shots on goal right now listed at 38-8. I wonder if they stopped counting for Drexel. I don't know just how many more it should be, but it felt like it was 38 a while ago. In the final 4 minutes of the second period. Silberman onside, shoots, and a save Lim. Fletcher. Back it held. For Jones. Can find the puck. Second effort he does, gains the line. Moves to the middle, Jones, right circle, shoots, save Lim. Egan. To drop back for Jones. A skitter over to the near side. Schaefer up ice. Unencumbered is Schaefer. Carries it behind the cage. Takes some contact from Held. Fletcher, Held. Sauces one out for Egan. Going to wind up with Jones. Good hustle. Shot and a save. Lim takes away the near post and does it again. Blowing an edge after the fact was Egan. So they didn't just put up another shot on goal, so it looks like it is still working. Pile up at the left point. Eisler came back on Mendham, now Lemire. Lemire again for O'Reilly. Gains the line. Rothermond sends one north. There's an icing. 2:07 to go in the second. Taeyang Lim is officially listed at 34 saves. Seems like it should be a little bit higher than that even. He's been sharp. And there's another stop. He's still only given up one even strength goal. He give up a shorty. And 3 power play goals on the major. Here's Eisler. Onside shoots, save Lim. Easily into the glove. 99 seconds to go in the middle frame. Fletcher for Search. Shot blocked. Search trying to hold the line. Now comes Schaefer. Great back check from Steve Basin. Basin straight up the gut for Barrett. Well, multiple goal scorer for Drexel so far. Both on the power play. A collision down along the boards. Walsh able to maintain his footing. Fletcher holds, shoots, past the glove of Lim, but wide. In the final minute of the second period. Josh Search. For Steve Basin. He's coming back out for Dylan Fletcher. Basin off the wall, Search. Now Barrett. Barrett for Fletcher, trying to center one. That goes high off the end glass into the final half minute now. The second period. Farley looking for a way out. Not on Search's watch. Numbers for Mason. Onside. Farley. Goes for the big hit, and he takes the worst of it himself. Hard into the boards. Walsh is just fine. Back up by Barrett with a second to go in the period. That's how it'll come to a close. Drexel in control, 5-1. Your official shots on goal are 39-8. Unofficially, I think it's a little closer to 50. They just added a bunch, right? So it's 47-8. There's a backlog. I'm not too sure. Whatever it is, we'll take one last break. When we come back, third period. Dragons trying to tack on a few more perhaps here on the Sports Fanbase Network. 2 down, 1 to go between Drexel and George Mason. It's a 5-1 lead for the home team. The Dragons led 1-0 after 1 and winning the shots on goal battle heavily, and obviously still are, 47-8. But didn't break this one open until a 5-on-4, 5-minute major, as it was early on in that second period. Scored 3 times during it, added a shorty to make it 5-0. Mason did get one back on the power play. That's where we stand. 2 goals on that 5-minute major for Aiden Barrett. Steve Basin also with a goal. Andrew Walsh. Dylan Fletcher scored the first goal of the game. It's been a pretty balanced effort for the Dragons. Now defending the goal to the right of your screen. An already thin George Mason team is down to, I only see 3 skaters on the bench right now. At one point they had 6. Game misconduct, but looks like they've lost 2 more guys along the way. Brian Worthington in goal for the Dragons. He's made 9 saves on 10 shots. Been a relatively quiet night at the office for him, but to his credit, because it was 1-0 for so long, one slip up, you give up a goal, you never know what happens. Meanwhile, Jack Lemire, the defenseman, carries it in deep. Unable to score as Taeyang Lim will cover up. He has been busy. 5 goals against is tough, but as it stands right now, take a look at his save percentage. 42 out of 47. Not bad at all. 894. What it really comes down to, and there's another stop, he's still only given up 1 5-on-5 goal, with the caveat one was a shorty. But 3 power play goals against him. One was 27 seconds into regulation. Settled down real nice after that. As the Dragons close in on 50 shots for the game. 50 shots on goal, that is. Plenty more have been off target. Zach Jones bursts up the middle, fades right through the far circle. Jones, forehand, won't fall. Kept in, it's Search. Can't find it. Here comes Hinkson. Hinkson mano-a-mano with Held. Not much of a battle. Held takes it away clean. Jones, top off the defense, save made by Lim. Jones has done everything but score tonight. He's been buzzing out there. That one's wide to the far post from Eisler. Carried up ice by Jack Lemire. Carves his way over the blue line. Lemire dances through the slot. Lost the puck, still going forward for Wagstaff. Up top, Fletcher with Eisler. Looking for it, Wagstaff. Behind the net, Silberman. Silberman steps into the far circle. Whizzes out near half wall is Lemire. Dylan Thorne flings it up the side. Fletcher takes it for Drexel. Tees it up for Height. Nice across the seam for Wagstaff. He'll follow. As Drexel has officially gone north of 50 shots on goal for the game. Fletcher. Mendham. Hustle from Wagstaff, trying to wrap around backhand, won't fall. It's Thorne. Moves out from the near side right. Unencumbered over the offensive blue line, lost the puck through the circle. Aiden Barrett, chance for a hat trick. Makes a couple defenders miss. Backhand won't go. That net is quite dislodged. Yeah, stoppage, 15:49 to go in the third. Walsh wins the draw. Mendham's offering blocked. Out come the Patriots. Karpov's shot sails wide. Barrett. And a self-pass on the fast break. Farley is the only goal for George Mason. Kept in by Held. Held shoots. Never did reach the goal mouth. Chance for a 2-on-1 for the Dragons. This is Andrew Walsh. Backhand sauce pass towards Eisler. Won't fall. Icing called. More than 5 minutes gone by now in the third. Zach Jones steps in front, straight off the corner wall. Fletcher holds the line. Now Jones. Same shot, same result off the corner wall. Fletcher had pinched in, so shooting out is Thorne. Thorne moves to the slot. Forehand is high. Great bid for the Patriots. Right back comes Zach Jones. Jones checked into the wall by Farley. Still enough movement on the puck for Silberman. Kept in near point by Search. He'll shoot, changes directions. Now comes Mason. Jasonis. Onside. Right circle. Shoots and a save Worthington. His 10th stop of the game. Fletcher with wide open ice. 3-on-1 here for Drexel. Fletcher shoots and misses wide. Dragons able to hold the zone. Out shooting the Patriots by nearly a 5-1 margin, 52-11. Meanders its way towards Basin, high in the slot. Lemire, far side, fires. Karpov with the takeaway. Basin, right back on side. Well, Wagstaff didn't carry it in clean, but touched up. There's Thorne. No icing here. Mendham races back. About 7 minutes have been played in this third period. No scoring yet for either team. Jake Levin with you on the Sports Fanbase Network. Nearing midnight here on the East Coast. We thank you for tuning in after dark. Basin onside. And that was designed to be a pass. It'll wind up right in the glove of Lim. I don't think he was quite in sync with height. So stoppage, 12:39 to play in the period now. Walsh wins the draw. Lim puts the clamp down. No stoppage yet. Mendham hangs on to the puck, gets it loose to Held. Held finds a lane from the left. Bypasses the would-be hip check. Throws it for Walsh. Shot blocked. Kept in by Mendham. And Barrett. And a save for Lim. Save percentage for Lim up to .909. 55 shots he has faced. Drexel's been on pace for number in the 60s for a while. Give him another. George Mason doing this right now with only 3 skaters on the bench and a backup goaltender, Lucas Huberger. Deeper Drexel roster for sure. Routinely rolling 3 full lines. 3 defensive pairings. 2 backup goaltenders on the bench. Held shots off the glass. Jones will give chase. Pettit. First there for Mason. Far side Rothermond. Dylan Thorne gained the line, lost the puck immediately to Josh Search. Cuts across center ice. Feeds Jones. Out of the left wing corner, Jones. Near circle now. Goes for Search. Intercepted by Karpov. Gains the line from left. Karpov ahead. Backhand won't go. Stop Worthington. Karpov back on the near side. Lost his footing. And icing will be your call against Drexel. 10.5 to play. Top the slot, they score. Dylan Thorne off an ozone draw. Won by the Patriots. It's a 5-2 game with 10:27 to go. These teams have scored the same number of 5-on-5 goals tonight. Mason also has a power play goal. Drexel with 3 power play goals and a shorty. 56-13 are your shots on goal. 57-13 now. This is Steve Basin. Up top, Mendham. Back to Basin. Nobody picks him up in the right circle. He shoots and a save Lim. McGinley collect up the far wing. More than halfway gone now in the third period. Drexel still firmly in control despite having given up the last goal. Lim makes a great save, denies a high danger chance from Eisler in the slot. Tae-Ying Lim single-handedly has kept this one respectable for George Mason. And gets a stick on another. Mendham tees one up and Lim, another stop. That last one was the 60th of the evening for Drexel. Right back come the Dragons. Toe drag for Barrett. Looking for a hat trick. Andrew Farley. 3-on-2, the numbers for George Mason. Farley, right circle. Fades back as Lemire is there in coverage. Farley sicked away by Lemire and up into the stands. Karpov. Shot offline at the doorstep. Pettit can't get it to fall. Lemire going to be cautious. Sent one up the middle. Farley played it off the skates of O'Reilly. On a diagonal, Patriots would have to get back on side. 8:19 to play in the third period. 5-2 Drexel. Tape to tape for Barrett. He is 1-on-5 right now. Barrett. Wait for the cavalry to catch up. All the way up top, off the wall. Connects with Fletcher. Fletcher shots wide. He's going to get one back. Fletcher looking towards the left point. Barrett abides. Back at Fletcher. Haight wants it. Haight gets it. For Egan. Save Lim. Fletcher. Over for Barrett. Barrett has scored from a similar spot on the other side of the ice. Now it's held. That one's up into the netting with 7:16. 15, I should say. Wonder if George Mason is spending the night here in Philadelphia or heading back to campus down in Fairfax, Virginia. A 2.5-hour drive. That's really not terrible, all things considered. I guess a little longer on a bus. Steve Basin, he's onside. Basin, backhand, forehand, score! Basin fed Pierce McGinley, and it's 6-2. Icing with 6:12 on the clock. Now after midnight here on the East Coast again. The Nightcaps here, the class of 1923 arena. Face-off controlled by Silberman. Lim angled one to the end board. Silberman collects, steps out in front, shoots, pad stop Lim. Rebound Jones and another save Lim. Paddles one to the corner. Jones will collect. Jones towards the slot for Lemire. Jones, save Lim. The 65th shot on goal this evening for Drexel. Very real chance to get to 70. 66 now, they say on the scoreboard. Near circle, O'Reilly fell before he could get the shot off. Farley and Thorne up ice for the Patriots. Worthington had that one graze off his shoulder. Thorne tees one up, well wide. This is Farley. Now Thorne tripped up, draws a penalty. And Patriots will go to the power play. It's a tripping call at 15:09 of the third period. Guilty party is Josh Search. Patriots 1 for 3 on the power play. Gave up a shorthanded goal. Challenge from Held. He'll head off to the races. At least try to. Good back check from Goodwin. Now chance for a 2-on-1. Farley with Pettit. They toggle. They shoot, and it's high. Maybe helped wide by Worthington. Held. Banks one for Eisler. He's onside. Eisler curls and shoots, and a save for Lim. Punches one back out towards the point. Eisler had a step in front. Shot scored. Jordan Hayden on the action. Second shorthanded goal of the game for Drexel. And a largest lead at 7-2. Get a look at this one on the replay. Taeyang Lim has made 61 saves. He's given up 7 goals, and that number falls to the goaltender, but obviously it's a shorthanded George Mason roster. He has played very well tonight. Keeper for the Patriots. 3.5 minutes to go. Still 40 seconds of power play time for George Mason. Here comes Thorne. Left circle. Karpov. Give it away to Fletcher. He's got numbers. Silberman. Shorthanded chance here. Silberman tried to return the favor to Fletcher. He got entangled. Back at full strength. Final 3 minutes of regulation. Snapped out for Thorne. Curls out of the circle to the point for Goodwin. Lemire, Egan trying to find Jones on an exit route. Here comes Jones, shoots and scores! Zach Jones has had a lot of shots tonight and finally gets one to fall. 8-2 at 17:37. It is a small but dedicated fan base here after hours at the Class of 1923 Arena. About 25 people in the stands. A few more. Making it feel like a bigger crowd, though. For those not here, hope you're at home enjoying on the Sports Fanbase Network. Doubleheader tonight. Looks like it's going to be swept by Drexel. 3-2 in the D1 game against Farmingdale State. And so we enter the final 2 minutes. 8-2 here against George Mason in the D2 battle. And John Galonis, our on-site producer, Cormac Keach, and Daniela Schneider on cameras this evening. Ari Bluestein, executive producer. Sports Fanbase Network 2-0, and Lim able to deny David Wagstaff. Puck got stuck in the slot. Basin, strong game for Drexel. Able to free it. .70 shots on goal for the Dragons. 8 of them have fallen so far. Basin. Pinballs around, little hump from the post there from Lim. Rebound. A chance to step into one here for a search. He'll fire and blocked. Dylan Thorne shot out of a cannon. He has some numbers. Missed the mark. It was 3-on-1 to Rothermond. Back the other way. Chance for a few more rushes each. This is Steve Basin. Checked loose. Shot Lim, gloved it down. Lim's got 66 saves tonight. Dragons just going through the motions at this juncture. Led 1-0 after the first. Turned it into an 8-2 runaway. Drexel wins. Convincing fashion. 3 power play goals on that 5-minute major. The spark plug the Dragons needed. A couple of shorties as well. A few more even strength goals in the third to wrap it up. That'll do it for our coverage here from the class of 1923 arena tonight. Clean sweep for the Dragons. 3-2 over Farmingdale State. 8-2 over George Mason. On behalf of our entire hard-working crew here at the Sports Fanbase Network, I'm Jake Levin. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time here in Philadelphia.